Hey, what it do, man? What's Papalocious, Papadopoulos? I ain't want to talk about this, but I'm gonna speak on it a little bit, just for a tad, because people are just some heartless, hating ass motherfuckers, man. They can never see things from a different perspective. They can never, see the brighter side of situations, man. This is always pure, hardcore negativity, man. And for the most part, it's usually black on black. I never really see like white people openly hate. They got hatred in them, of course. They're responsible for some of the most major tragic things that have ever happened on this planet. But I mean, as far as from a verbal standpoint, you don't really see white folks really hating like that, unless they are heavily influenced by black culture, just talking shit and putting down the next person for whatever it is that they're trying to pursue, especially if it's outside of the realm of what they do. It's always met with hate. Then we got going on T.I. Rapper T.I., superstar platinum artist, king of the South, if you will, depending on whose opinion it is. After all the success that he's gotten as a hip-hop artist, I'll start from the beginning. After all the success he's gotten as a drug dealer, trap king, hip-hop artist, movie star, podcaster, because he was doing expeditiously. I don't know if he's still doing that. Podcast. He's decided to venture off into comedy. Now the thing is, I think T.I. is so successful and almost everything that he's touched, some people just have this expectancy for him to be great, hitting the ground running with comedy. Comedy is one of the hardest art forms to master, y'all. You know what I mean? One of the hardest professions, because it literally takes, and this is not for everybody, but just as a general rule, it takes about 10 years of consistently hitting that stage. And I'm not talking about, you just saying jokes to yourself, you know what I mean, in your mirror in your house. No, I'm talking about actually being in front of people. As a general rule, it takes about 10 years to get some type of traction. I'm at year number 8, and I'm just starting to get like a little bit of traction to where like I'm consistently getting paid, consistently getting money, where there's a handful of people that trust me enough to put money in my pocket every time they call me, But it took me 8 years to get to that point, Until I just started. This is the thing. Most of us that are pursuing comedy, I mean, I think we all pursue it for the passion. But someone like myself, I do love it. But I want to make a living off of this. You know what I'm saying? We slave and punch in at work every single day. We get paid for something that we hate doing, or we don't love doing, every single day. So what's wrong with trying to monetize something that you love? And eventually, when you get really, really, really good at something, you know what I mean? Even if it's not about the money, people are going to see value in you, and they're going to pay you. T.I. don't need the money. CelebrityWorth.net says that he's worth like 80 million. So he doesn't need the money. He's doing it for the love, because he loves doing it. This is something that he wants to master. Now, because he's such a big name, a big draw, he's going to get advantages that other comedians that don't have. As far as he can go into the Comedy Store and do a spot. He can go into the Comedy Cellar and do a spot. It's T.I. People want to come to see him. Now, I'm not going to say he's a bad comic. He's a new comic. All new comics are green and unpolished, man. Very few hit the ground running, they just killing and destroying, and like they got the game figured out. That's very, very, very few. But he doesn't have to take the traditional path of hitting up open mics, signing up, getting on a list. Like his most recent controversy was he went after Godfrey, right? And there's a cardinal rule in comedy. Once the headliner goes up, the show is over. Unless the headliner asks you to go after him. You know what I'm saying? That's the only exception. But pretty much, a show is an hour and a half or however long it is. Godfrey did like an hour and 40, so by the time over an hour and a half goes by, like, people are just mentally checked out. That's why most movies aren't even 2 hours long, you know? But when somebody's new, coming into an arena, new comics, I don't give a fuck if you're an $80 million rapper or you an 18-year-old kid that just started hitting open mics. New comics they're not gonna understand all the rules. Like, what is the light? What's a type 5? What's a callback? What's a setup? What's a punchline? What's story style? Like, they don't understand all those things. So those are things that you learn over time. You know what I'm saying? And you learn in raggedy open mics where nobody's paying money or anything like that. So even if you make a mistake, the patrons that are watching you, well, most of the time it's just other comics watching you, but the patrons that are watching you, you know, they're not financially invested in it. So your mistakes aren't as magnified. When you have bigger shows, where somebody like Godfrey is playing, people paying $20, $35 a ticket, and it's like 500 people, 1,000 people, that's a different ball game. It's just like there's certain open mic jokes that I would never do in front of a paying audience. Like if a joke isn't really worked out, and you pay $25, $30, I'm not gonna give you my shit that's not really worked out. You know, I'm getting better with that, but you know, there's certain things I wouldn't do. So it's a matter of like, yo, the dude is a newbie, but he's a millionaire. The fact that he's a millionaire, it gives him the ability to go into places that the average comic with no money and it's not about just the money, just about the influence and the following that he has. You know what I'm saying? He's able to be in certain places that other people can't. But he still loves the art. He doesn't know and understand all the rules. But instead of chastising this motherfucker and trying to embarrass him, why not pull him to the side and just talk to him and let him know, hey man, this is how you do this, whatever. You're gonna do what you do, but I'm just letting you know it's gonna be a lot of backlash, you know what I'm saying? So blah blah blah, whoop de whoop, XYZ. And I think he's starting to understand that, because even when he was recently on Godfrey's podcast, they talked about it. It was a pretty heated discussion. And Godfrey's kind of backpedaling a little bit, but not major. You know what I mean? And Dante Nero tried to hop in, and T.I. wasn't trying to hate that motherfucker at all. And that's too bad, because Dante Nero's connected to one of the greatest comics of all time. You know what I mean? Well, he was arguably the greatest comic of all time, Patrice O'Neal's mentor. You know what I'm saying? But T.I. probably don't know that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's about being known, likes, and follows. That's a lot of times you get more respect if you're known. So it is what it is. So Dante fell back, but I feel like, you know what I'm saying, instead of all these comics just hating and he gonna take my spot and blah blah blah, T.I. ain't trying to take nobody money. T.I. ain't trying to take nobody's spot. He don't get paid for none of this, man. He just trying to get his reps up. You know what I mean? He built himself and forged himself a legacy to give him the opportunity to be out here in places that new cats, you know what I'm saying, can't be in. That's just what it is. This is over 20 years of hard work, of being out there in Hollywood, grinding, doing it, feeding people, putting out dope-ass albums, dope-ass movies. And now this is another adventure that he wants to go off into. Is he breaking some of the rules of doing things the wrong way? Yes. But, and this is how I operate when it's a newbie comic, man, and they kind of break the rules. I don't try to embarrass, like other comics do, but like, and this is the comedy culture. You a newbie, you fuck up, comics gonna haze you, they're gonna roast you, they're gonna shit on you. I don't go as, I'm more compassionate with that. And when everybody's saying that you're whack, I always try to find the good in you. You know what I'm saying? I always try to find, like, what is it that you could build off of? Because my mindset is, if I can see how to make you better, that actually makes me better. If that makes sense. So all these people, comics, worrying about T.I. taking a spot and he's spoiling in the sanctity of the game, man. Yo, this dude is not getting paid. He doesn't have to do open mics, the regular open mic situation. He's beyond that because of the legacy that he's forged in other avenues. It just is what it is. You gotta accept that. Now, you know what I'm saying? If you like a headliner from the show and then he take you off the show to get your money, then that's different. Then I can understand. But it's not even that. He's just trying to get spots. Not even trying. He's getting spots. People don't give him the spots. The club owner's gonna let him do it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a draw. It's about the sanctity of the art, but the bills got to be paid too. We just coming out of a pandemic, or almost out of a pandemic, and businesses and things of that nature are starting to get some traction again. So if I'm a business owner, I own a comedy club, and you know, a Godfrey or a Capone or a Toure or somebody closing the show, and then T.I. want to pop up, I mean, the proper thing to do is ask the headliner, you know what I'm saying? But if he don't really know the rules, and I'm the owner, and he want to pull up, and people find out he gonna be there, and you got an extra 100 people that want to run up in there to generate sales. Why, like, yo, man, how could you be mad at that, man? It's feeding the game. You do you as a comic. You crush. You do you. You forge your own legacy. What he's doing is it's not spoiling the sanctity of the game. I actually think it actually brings more light and recognition to the game and more potential money to the game. And he's mastered everything he's done. Like, maybe, you know, he might not need 10 years because he's been performing. Just like me as a comic, even before I started doing comedy, I was doing poetry and acting and things of that nature. So it wasn't like I was a newbie that just never hit any type of stage ever. So he has an advantage, and people, instead of hating on him, try to work with this dude worth $80 million. Ain't many comedians that's worth $80 million. Instead of like shitting on this dude and trying to come at him and trying to put him down, this motherfucker's rich. And it could be a symbiotic relationship. You could actually help this dude out, and he can definitely help you out. All y'all motherfuckers that's hating on T.I., T.I. could definitely help you out. Way more than you can help him out. And it ain't about sucking his balls or dick riding, nothing like that. This dude loves the game, and he's trying to get better at it. But he doesn't have to take the traditional dive bar route that the majority of us have to take. He's a potential financial investor, backer that loves the craft of comedy. People always say, I hope somebody gives us a break. I wish there was more money in this shit. I wish there was more people that could recognize and put money in this shit. Now we have that. Y'all want to hate on that shit? Just because he broke a couple of rookie rules? And he's a multi-millionaire? Are y'all fucking stupid? Are y'all fucking dumb? Somebody broke the goddamn rules, man. It could be corrected. But don't talk to this nigga like he's a child. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he's a newbie to comedy, but he's not a newbie as a human being, period. You know, he's not a newbie to arts. And he's rich. You people are dumb. This could have been handled a lot differently. Yeah, and you like, I'm not saying no names, but you see a lot of comedians, you understand why they are where they are, and they still quote unquote trying to get on, and they over 50 years old because they continually keep to shoot themselves in the foot with dumbass shit. When if they were just more of a politician with this, if they were more objective, if they saw the bigger picture, better things could come of it. But I think some things can still be salvaged, you know, as far as like certain comics have said what have you, but it's just like, yo, y'all motherfuckers, like a lot of y'all comics is too jealous and y'all too in y'all feelings, man. Too much ego. And y'all not seeing the bigger picture. Like, this shit is crazy, man. I wish I meet a T.I. or somebody. I'm not saying I can write his jokes or nothing like that, but I'll sit down with him if he had the ears to listen, and I'll give him a straight objective rundown of what's gonna go, you know, of what's going on, yo. You know what I mean? Not even trying to get anything like that, but I see the benefit of home being in the game, though. If y'all can't see that, how many fucking multi-millionaires from the hood, you know what I'm saying, from the hood hip hop niggas that's trying to do it. That's not just trying to financially back, that actually want to be a part of the craft, man. Y'all gotta see the bigger picture, yo. Y'all gotta see the bigger picture, man. Stop hating. See the benefit in it. Stop. Get out your feelings. Get out your ego and see the benefit. Help this man. Don't just shit on him and make him feel bad. Yes, he's gonna bomb. Yes, his comedy is gonna suck. Or it's not going to be up to par. The nigga just got started a month and a half ago. What do you expect? It's just he puts himself on these big stages and people are recording. That's one thing. That's another reason why you shouldn't really record people's open mics and things of that nature, because you're not seeing it in its full, in its full maturity. But this is the age that we live in. T.I. is putting himself out there, so it is what it is. But y'all motherfuckers, y'all just hating. Y'all stupid, Y'all just don't understand. Y'all got the golden calf right here, man. Y'all got the cash cow right here. And y'all want to hate on this man? So 10 years from now, when you still in the same place that you are, is because think of this whole T.I. situation and think about your negativity and think about your mindset. You exactly where you want to be. I'm out. Hashtag everybody Emo Green. Peace.